Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tech News Now. It feels like every time I refresh my feed, there's another crazy headline about OpenAI.
It really does. The AI world is just,
It's so wild.
yeah, it's moving so fast, and there are just so many rumors flying around about them maybe even hitting AGI,
Oh, yeah.
artificial general intelligence.
Like the holy grail of AI?
Yeah, exactly.
When machines can do everything a human can.
That's the idea.
I'm just trying to picture a robot writing this podcast script.
Right.
Or doing my taxes. Honestly, I'm not sure if I should be terrified or relieved.
Well.
But we're really on the verge of like a sci-fi robot takeover.
Okay, so let's maybe dial back the Hollywood drama just a little bit. While some folks are, throwing around terms like Takeoff and predicting AI is going to be self-improving at warp speed, the truth is that AGI, at least how we traditionally understand it, is still a ways off.
So no robot uprising next Tuesday then?
Probably not.
Darn. But speaking of Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, he's been dropping some pretty cryptic hints about their progress.
He's acknowledging OpenAI is making real strides toward this, more general type of AI. But he's also pushing back on those like super accelerated timelines that some folks are predicting.
Hold on, rewind a second. What about all those rumors about OpenAI employees hinting at big breakthroughs? And that mysterious O3 model everyone's whispering about.
Okay, yeah, the O3 model.
Some are saying it's the key to unlocking AGI.
Yeah, it's definitely intriguing. Think of it as like a next-generation language model, maybe capable of way more sophisticated tasks than what we've seen before. It could be a total game changer. But whether it's like the magic key to unlock true AGI, I think that's still very much up for debate.
Okay, so it sounds like OpenAI is cooking up some cool stuff, to use Altman's words.
Yeah.
But maybe we shouldn't be prepping for a robot revolution just yet.
Exactly. And to really understand why, we need to talk about something called scaling limits.
Scaling limits?
Yeah. Essentially, some experts believe we're hitting a wall with current AI approaches, where just throwing more data and more computing power at the problem isn't leading to the same kind of exponential progress we saw before.
So it's like trying to cram a giant data set into a robot brain that's already overflowing.
Kind of, yeah. Even robots can get information overload.
Yeah, but really, if that's the case, what are the alternatives? Are researchers just throwing their hands up in defeat?
No, not at all. This whole scaling limit debate is actually sparking some really fascinating new research. Think of it as like a pivot point, where instead of just scaling up, we're looking at fundamentally different ways to build AI.
Oh, okay. I'm sensing it. Here's where it gets really interesting moment coming on.
Give me B.
Spill the beans.
Yeah.
What are these new approaches all about?
Well, one really exciting avenue is like incorporating reasoning capabilities into AI, moving beyond just processing massive amounts of data and toward a more, dare I say, human-like way of thinking. Like imagine AI that can understand logic and make inferences, even solve problems it's never encountered before.
Whoa. That's a serious upgrade from a robot that can just, write haikus or tell me the weather.
Right.
But let's be honest, even with these new approaches, we're probably still a long way from having robots that can truly understand and reason like humans, right?
Right. It's important to keep things in perspective. Even OpenAI's own researchers like Gwern Branwen are saying that there's a ton of potential. But there are still a lot of unsolved problems. It's not like a race to the finish line, so much as a marathon with some really exciting new terrain to explore.
And I bet our listeners, being the tech-savvy bunch they are dying to know what kind of real-world impact could this all have. I mean, Altman mentioned AI agents entering the workforce as early as this year.
Yeah.
What does that even look like?
That's a great question. And to be honest, it's one we're all still kind of grappling with. Imagine AI assistants that can handle super complex tasks, analyze data, even make decisions in fields like finance or healthcare, or even journalism.
Hold on. Is my job safe?
Don't worry. I think creative and insightful podcast hosts like yourself are still in high demand.
Right. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But it's true. The integration of AI agents into the workforce is probably going to reshape industries.
Yeah.
And the skills people need to thrive.
It's true.
But this isn't necessarily a bad thing, right?
Right. Think of it as an opportunity for all of us to adapt and evolve alongside these technologies.
So instead of fearing the robot takeover, we should be thinking about how to work alongside our future AI colleagues.
Exactly.
I like that perspective. But I can't help but think back to all those sci-fi movies where AI becomes super intelligent and, well, things don't end so well for us humans.
Yeah, Hollywood does love a good robot apocalypse. But in reality, we're not just passively watching this all unfold, we're actively shaping the future of AI.
Right.
This is where the importance of ongoing research and responsible development and open discussions like this one come in.
I love that. It's not about surrendering to the machines. It's about steering the ship together. And for our listeners who are probably just as fascinated by all of this as we are, what should they be paying attention to in the AI world? What are the key things to keep an eye on?
Well, keep watching how these new approaches to AI development are evolving. Are we seeing real breakthroughs in reasoning and problem solving? And how are those advancements being translated into practical applications?
So basically, stay glued to tech news now for all the latest updates.
Of course.
But seriously, it makes sense. We need to keep our finger on the pulse of these developments. Because this isn't just some abstract tech talk. This is shaping the future that we're all going to be living in.
Exactly. And pay attention to the ethical conversations that are happening around AI, the discussions about its impact on jobs and on society. Engage with those conversations, share your thoughts, ask tough questions. The future of AI isn't predetermined. It's one we're all creating together.
It's funny, we started this whole conversation talking about robot takeovers and sci-fi scenarios. But what I'm hearing now is a story that's way more nuanced and honestly a lot more exciting.
Absolutely. The AI landscape is just full of possibilities. And while there are definitely some, legitimate concerns to address, there's also this feeling of just immense potential. We're on the edge of some really incredible advancements. And it's really up to all of us to make sure that those advancements benefit humanity as a whole.
And that brings us back to what we do here at Tech News Now. We're not just reporting on the latest gadgets. We're trying to help our listeners make sense of the bigger picture, understand how all this technology is changing the world around us.
And in the case of AI, that understanding is more crucial than ever. The decisions we make today, the conversations we have, the questions we ask, they're all going to have an impact on the future that we're creating.
So for all our listeners out there, whether you're a tech enthusiast or just someone who wants to stay ahead of the curve, here's our takeaway. Don't be afraid to really dive into this complex world of AI.
Read, listen, learn, and engage in those conversations about the ethical implications, the potential benefits, the challenges that come with these powerful technologies.
Because the future of AI isn't something that's just happening to us. It's something that we're all actively shaping.
That's right.
To stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned to Tech News Now for all the latest developments.
And hey, even if robots do eventually take over the world, at least they'll be well informed thanks to podcasts like ours.
That's right. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. We'll catch you next time on Tech News Now.